A good soil recipe is really not expensive. When you buy prepackaged potting soil, it can be really pricey, especially if you've got a lot of pots, containers, or beds. So we're going to make our own. So what we're going to start with is topsoil. So this is 1 5-gallon bucket of topsoil. Topsoil is great to use because 1, it's cheap, and 2, it's already been sterilized to kill all the weeds, seeds, and diseases in it. So we've got a bucket of topsoil. We're going to add a half a bucket of peat moss to this. Okay, so what is peat moss? Peat moss is basically decaying moss. So it's wonderful for holding in moisture. You can see how moist it is. So we're going to mix that in. That's half a bucket to the bucket of topsoil. So peat moss is great for retaining moisture and keeping your flower pots from not drying out. All right, to that we're going to add some food. So we've got half a bucket or half a part of composted cow manure. So make sure it's composted cow manure, so it's already been through a heat cycle. And obviously what this is going to do is feed your potting mix. So this is the feeding of it. All right, notice I'm wearing gloves and long sleeves because your hands are the best shovels that you've got. And our last ingredient is 1/4 of a part of sand. Now what's the purpose of sand? The good thing about it is that it keeps the soil loose, and so you're not going to have compaction in your soil or in your pot or your bed. So all we're going to do is just keep mixing this up until it's nice and mixed, and then we're going to transfer this to our bed or pot. The good thing about this is it's got a long shelf life, so you can mix a whole bunch of it up and keep it through the whole season. And also, it's really inexpensive. So I've taken that soil recipe that I just mixed up and I've incorporated it into this bed. Now, one of the things you might want to think about is double digging. So what that means is dig into the soil that's already there, mix that soil mix into it, and then what that does is it makes sure that your plants stay good and hydrated. It pulls the moisture that's already in the soil into the mix. That's especially important if you're not using irrigation like I've got. Now, one of the things you want to make sure and do is orient your bed appropriately. This runs north and south. That's very important because you can get maximum sun exposure that way. The other thing you want to consider is how wide your bed is. This is 3 feet by 25 feet. The length isn't so much as important as the width. So 3 feet is perfect. This way you don't have to step into the bed and compact that soil in order to work it. You can stay on the perimeter of it and work both sides of it perfectly. Now, the good thing about this is that this is long lasting. So one of the things that you can do is you garden year round. Once spring, summer vegetables are finished, you just till up the soil, put new plants in there, and go again with some fall cole crops. It's easy to rotate things out, and you especially need to rotate things out when you're in a raised bed like this. So I'm not going to plant the same things in this bed this year that I planted last year. Rotating those out eliminates disease pressure that might be already in the soil. So by taking these steps, what you're doing is you're ensuring that your garden is set up for success.
For inspiring garden tours, growing tips, and garden projects, visit our website at volunteergardener.org or on YouTube at the Volunteer Gardener channel, and like us on Facebook.